In our globalized world, where English increasingly dominates, the significance of preserving and understanding languages stands as a vital challenge. Hello guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at some of the most important forgotten languages of the world. Before we start, don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any videos. Let's go! Language, often hailed as the cornerstone of human civilization, is an intricate web of sounds, symbols, and structures that serve as the very essence of culture, identity, and history for countless communities worldwide. It acts as a vessel carrying forward traditions, values, and narratives that define generations and shape societies. Yet despite its pivotal role in our existence, an estimated 90% of the world's 7,000 languages have fallen by the wayside, yielding to the pressures of globalization, technological shifts, and societal transformations. These forgotten languages, whether they be silenced dialects, undeciphered scripts, or those lost to the sands of time, represent much more than just a collection of words. They encapsulate entire civilizations, ways of thinking, and stories of people who once inhabited this planet. Their absence leaves a void in our understanding of human history, culture, and the incredible diversity that has always existed among humankind. Consequently, the study of these forgotten languages holds immense importance. By delving into these linguistic relics, we gain insight into the stories of those who came before us, unraveling their cultures, beliefs, and ways of life. In doing so, we not only pay homage to the countless communities whose voices have been silenced, but we also enrich our own perspectives and deepen our appreciation for the tapestry of human existence. As we begin our journey through this fascinating realm, I encourage you to keep an open mind, embrace the unknown, and allow yourself to be transported back in time. Who knows, you might just discover a piece of history that resonates with you in unexpected ways. So let's embark on this adventure together and explore the captivating world of forgotten languages. Forgotten languages can be divided into two broad categories. Firstly, we have extinct spoken languages. These are tongues that were once vibrant and alive within communities, but have since ceased to exist. An example of this category would be the numerous Latin-descendant languages spoken by Roman populations that ultimately gave rise to modern Romance languages like Spanish, French, and Italian. Another example could be certain Mayan languages that diminished under the pressures of colonization and forced assimilation policies. These languages, though no longer spoken, played a crucial role in shaping the cultural landscape of their respective regions. The second category encompasses undeciphered scripts. This refers to written records left behind by ancient civilizations that we can physically see, yet we are unable to comprehend due to the loss of linguistic or historical context. Famous examples include the Indus Valley script found carved into seals and artifacts from around 2600 BCE and the Rongorongo script from Easter Island. These scripts stand as silent puzzles, offering glimpses into the knowledge, beliefs, and artistic expressions of their creators, but remaining tantalizingly out of reach to modern scholars. The Indus script, for instance, has baffled researchers for over a century with its unique symbols and undeciphered characters. Similarly, the Rongorongo tablets with their mysterious glyphs continue to pose significant challenges to those seeking to unlock their secrets. The inability to understand these scripts underscores the fragility of written language and the importance of preserving both written and oral traditions for future generations. As we continue to explore the realm of forgotten languages, it is essential to recognize the complexities and challenges involved in deciphering and comprehending these linguistic relics. The task of unraveling an extinct language or an undeciphered script requires a multidisciplinary approach, often involving linguists, historians, archaeologists, and anthropologists. Each individual brings a unique perspective and set of skills to the table, contributing to a more comprehensive understanding of these forgotten tongues. Now let's dive into some of the most intriguing examples of forgotten languages. Starting with Lineare. Lineare is an ancient script used by the Minoan civilization on the Greek island of Crete around 1800 to 1450 BCE. It was used alongside Linear B, which was deciphered in the 1950s to reveal that it was Mycenaean Greek. However, despite numerous attempts, Lineare remains undeciphered. The difficulty lies in the lack of bilingual inscriptions that could provide a direct key to translation. Scholars believe that Lineare represents an early form of the language spoken by the Minoans, a sophisticated Bronze Age culture known for its advanced society and unique art. Because it hasn't been deciphered, we can only speculate about the language's structure and content. Next, let's look at the Indus script. The Indus script is a set of symbols found on artifacts, seals, and other objects from the Indus Valley Civilization, which flourished in what is now Pakistan and northwest India between approximately 2800 and 1800 BCE. This civilization is known for its urban planning, craftsmanship, and trade networks. However, the script's meaning remains elusive due to the lack of a deciphered Rosetta Stone-like artifact that could link it to a known language or provide context for its use. Several theories have been proposed, but none have been widely accepted. Many scholars believe that the script may have represented one of the world's earliest writing systems and that its disappearance may have been related to the decline of the Indus Valley Civilization. Let's move on to Etruscan. Etruscan was the language of a civilization that flourished in central and northern Italy before the rise of ancient Rome. It is believed to have been spoken from around the 9th century BCE to the 1st century CE. Despite its prominence during this period, very little is known about Etruscan because most of its literature was destroyed over time. Scholars have been able to piece together some aspects of the language through epigraphy, the study of inscriptions, and by examining its influence on other languages. Etruscan is particularly notable for its unique alphabet, which had 24 letters, and is thought to have influenced the development of the Latin alphabet. The language itself is believed to have been related to other ancient languages, such as Faliscan and Umbrian, which were also spoken in Italy. Finally, we will discuss Rongorongo. Rongorongo is a mysterious writing system found on wooden tablets from Easter Island, home to the famous Moai statues. The tablets date back to around the 15th century CE, but the script's origin and purpose remain unclear. There are two theories about its origin. One suggests that Rongorongo represents an indigenous script developed by the Rapa Nui people, while the other proposes that it was brought to the island by European sailors who encountered the island's inhabitants. This theory is supported by similarities between Rongorongo symbols and those found in 15th century Portuguese and Spanish texts. However, the lack of a deciphered corpus and the destruction of many tablets leave large gaps in our understanding of the script. Only 400 of the estimated 800 original tablets remain, making the task of deciphering Rongorongo even more challenging. As we've seen, these forgotten languages, whether spoken or undeciphered, represent an integral part of our shared human heritage. Their study not only helps us understand past civilizations, but also highlights the richness and complexity of human communication. While some of these languages may never be fully deciphered, the pursuit of understanding them drives innovation in linguistics and archaeology. Chapter 3. Why do languages disappear? There are lots of different reasons why a language might vanish. But broadly speaking, languages tend to disappear because of three main factors. And the first factor is conquest and colonization. When a powerful empire conquers a new territory, they usually have a language that they prefer to use, whether that's Latin, Arabic, French, or English. They may then attempt to eradicate the native language and replace it with their own. This happened in the United States, where English largely replaced many Native American languages. And it also happened in Australia, where Australian English replaced many Aboriginal languages. It's not always a conscious decision by governments or colonizers to snuff out a language. Sometimes it's simply a byproduct of empires expanding. When the British colonized Kenya, they didn't actively set out to wipe out Swahili. However, they did favor English, and this led to English becoming the dominant language in government, education, and business. Over time, this made it harder and harder for Swahili to survive. Eventually, the Kenyan government chose English as the official language of the country, even though it was spoken by only a small percentage of the population. Today, several Kenyan languages are endangered. That means that they could disappear in the near future if the number of people speaking them continues to drop. A second reason that languages sometimes disappear is globalization. English, Mandarin, and Spanish are what's called a superlanguage. These are extremely useful languages to speak because so many other countries either speak them to or want to trade with the countries that do. As a result, these superlanguages are often the focus of media, education, and business. And while this keeps them strong and healthy, it makes other languages seem weak and out of date. Many small island languages like Tok Pisin for example, are disappearing as more people switch over to English. In Indonesia, the arrival of television and radio in the 1960s led to the decline of hundreds of local languages as Indonesians started to favor the national language instead. And finally, the third reason that languages sometimes disappear is something called oral traditions. Most languages started off as spoken languages long before they were written down. However, when a language has no written record, it can be hard to prove its existence. So even if a language has been around for thousands of years, it might disappear forever the moment the last person who speaks it dies. Linguists estimate that half of the estimated 7,000 living languages worldwide are unwritten, and that at least one language disappears every 2 weeks. So there are plenty of languages that may have existed for centuries, but will never appear in a history book. But here's the thing, each time a language disappears, it's both a blending and a vanishing of cultures. When a community stops speaking their traditional language and starts speaking a new one, it doesn't mean that they've abandoned their culture completely. Instead, they've chosen to blend their culture with the culture of the people who speak the dominant language. But regardless of why a language dies, when it does, it's a huge loss for all of humanity. That's because languages contain knowledge about the world and about ourselves that we would lose forever if those languages disappeared. Chapter 4. What we lose when we lose a language. When a language dies, we don't just lose vocabulary. We lose ways of thinking and unique insights into the world around us. Take, for example, the Aymara language, which is spoken by around 2 million people in Bolivia and Peru. The Aymara people traditionally live high up in the mountains where it's hard to grow crops. This meant that they had to rely on livestock, llamas, and alpacas, whose survival depends on the weather. Over generations, the Aymara people developed an impressive knowledge of meteorology and astronomy. They used the stars to predict droughts and floods. And words like kala, which means dark gray, can indicate an upcoming storm. This kind of detailed knowledge exists in lots of endangered languages, and it could help scientists understand more about the world around us. If more languages died, we could lose all of this knowledge, and there's no way to get it back. We also lose ancient knowledge. In linguistics, a Creole is a type of language that develops from a mix of different languages. In the 18th century, many West African languages mixed with Portuguese to form a Creole called Cape Verdean Creole. At the time, Europeans didn't understand much about vaccines, but thanks to the use of herbal medicine in West Africa, the islanders had some immunity to smallpox. During the slave trade, people spoke about these medicines, and this knowledge spread throughout Europe. Similarly, before modern navigation technology, Pacific Islanders used the stars to navigate the vast ocean. In fact, one group of islands in Micronesia has such accurate navigational charts that a scientist once described them as the Bermuda Triangle in reverse. These examples show that each language contains a wealth of historical and scientific knowledge. And when a language dies, all of this knowledge goes with it. Finally, when a language dies, we lose part of our cultural identity. Our language shapes how we think about the world. It influences how we see things, how we feel about things, and how we talk about things. Some linguists even believe that speaking a language creates a sense of community and belonging. This means that losing a language isn't just an academic problem for experts. It's a real loss for the communities who speak these languages. When speakers of an endangered language pass away, younger generations often abandon their mother tongue in favor of a more widely spoken language. In Ireland, the Irish language almost disappeared in the 20th century. Only a few thousand people remained fluent, and most of them were elderly. But since then, the Irish government has encouraged Irish speakers to have children and to teach them the language. This has led to a revival, and today more than 1.3 million people speak Irish. So what should we do about dying languages? Should we try to save them or let nature take its course? Well, first of all, when a language dies, we lose a lot of valuable knowledge about the world. For example, studies have shown that speaking an indigenous language is often linked to a stronger connection to the land. This could help us address climate change, as indigenous communities who speak these languages have often found sustainable ways of living in harmony with their environment. We also lose a part of human history. Languages are living things that evolve and change over time. So each language tells a story about the people who speak it and the world that they live in. When a language dies, that story comes to an end. Finally, we lose a part of our cultural diversity. The world is full of different cultures, and each culture is special in its own way. Our languages are a big part of our culture, and when they die, we lose a part of what makes us human. So yes, there are good reasons to try and save endangered languages. Whether we should do this is a complicated question that involves lots of different factors. But one thing we can all agree on is that when a language dies, we all have something to mourn. The whispers of the past are all around us, hidden in plain sight. Petroglyphs etched by unknown hands on cave walls, the crumbling pages of ancient manuscripts, the faint echo of words in our own tongue that we barely understand. For centuries, we've marveled at these remnants of lost voices from civilizations long gone. But what if I told you we could do more than just marvel? What if we could listen? Join me as we dive into Chapter 5 of our journey, where we lines explore how modern science and technology are lending their might to bring back the dead. Not in the supernatural sense, but in the realm of linguistics and language revival. It's an incredible adventure where we uncover how researchers are breathing new life into ancient scripts, reviving almost dead languages, and preserving the wisdom embedded in oral traditions. All this is happening in a world where thousands of languages are disappearing. We are striving to ensure that no language slips into oblivion without a fight. The forgotten languages of the world are not merely relics of the past, they are the echoes of humanity's diverse spirit. Every language tells a story of survival, adaptation, and creativity. By studying and preserving what remains of these vanished tongues, we are not only rediscovering forgotten civilizations, but also protecting the richness of human identity for future generations. Now let's embark on this exciting journey to see how we are bringing back the dead. One of the most ambitious endeavors in the field of reviving lost voices is the attempt to decipher ancient scripts, many of which have remained unreadable for centuries. The Linear script, used by the Minoan civilization on the Greek island of Crete around 3,700 years ago, is a prime example. For a long time, it baffled researchers due to the lack of a Rosetta Stone, a bilingual text that could serve as a key to unlock its secrets. However, recent advances in computational linguistics, coupled with a growing understanding of related ancient scripts like Linear B, have made significant progress possible. By analyzing patterns and symbols in the script, experts are gradually unraveling its mysteries. While a complete understanding of Linear may still be elusive, the potential for discovery is immense. If deciphered, it would provide invaluable insights into the Minoan civilization, shedding light on their culture, society, and interactions with other ancient peoples. Similarly, the Indus script, dating back to the Indus Valley civilization around 4,000 years ago, has also resisted all attempts at decipherment so far. The complexity of the script, along with the lack of a substantial corpus of inscriptions, has made it extremely challenging. However, with the application of modern tools like machine learning algorithms and statistical analysis, researchers are continually refining their understanding. Some scholars believe that the Indus script may hold the key to understanding the enigmatic Harappan people and their civilization, which mysteriously collapsed around 2,600 years ago. But our efforts aren't limited to scripts of the distant past. The Hebrew language, for instance, offers a remarkable case study of a language that was brought back from the brink of extinction. Hebrew had been relegated to a sacred language used mainly in religious texts and rituals. It was not the living language of a people until the 19th century, when a concerted effort was made to revive it. Thanks to the Zionist movement, which aimed to establish a Jewish state in their ancestral homeland, Hebrew experienced a remarkable resurgence. Scholars and activists worked tirelessly to develop a modern form of the language, drawing upon ancient texts and incorporating new words and phrases to suit the needs of contemporary life. Today, Hebrew is not only the official language of Israel, but a vibrant, evolving tongue spoken by millions around the globe. The story of Hebrew's revival serves as a beacon of hope for other endangered languages. Cornish, a Celtic language once spoken in the southwestern tip of England, is one such language that has benefited from similar efforts. Cornish was declared extinct in the 18th century, but a dedicated group of linguists and enthusiasts worked to bring it back to life. Through language classes, cultural events, and the creation of teaching materials, Cornish has seen a revival in recent decades. Although it is still primarily spoken by a small number of individuals, its use in literature, music, and community gatherings is steadily growing. In many cultures, traditional knowledge and stories are primarily transmitted through oral rather than written means. This rich tapestry of oral traditions, often referred to as orature, encompasses everything from folktales and myths to historical accounts and spiritual teachings. It plays a vital role in preserving cultural heritage, transmitting values, and shaping community identity. Despite its importance, orature faces numerous threats in the modern world. As younger generations increasingly gravitate towards urban life and digital media, the practice of oral storytelling, which is central to orature, often gets sidelined. Additionally, the pressure to conform to dominant linguistic norms can lead to the marginalization of minority languages, putting the unique cultural knowledge embedded in them at risk. Moreover, the rapid pace of societal change and the breakdown of traditional social structures can disrupt the transmission of oral traditions, leading to their erosion over time. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, there have been growing efforts to document, preserve, and revitalize orature around the world. Scholars and community leaders are working together to record oral narratives, translate them into written form, and integrate them into school curricula. This not only helps to safeguard cultural heritage, but also fosters intergenerational dialogue and mutual understanding. Furthermore, initiatives have been taken to promote the use of indigenous languages in education, media, and public life, ensuring that the younger generation is exposed to and appreciative of the rich oral traditions associated with their mother tongues. It is in this context that the advent of modern technology has proven to be a game changer. Audio and video recording devices have enabled the meticulous documentation of oral narratives, allowing future generations to directly experience the cadence, intonation, and cultural nuances embedded in these stories. Digital platforms and social media have also played a crucial role in disseminating orature, breaking down geographical barriers and connecting individuals across the globe who share an interest in a particular culture or tradition. Moreover, the use of artificial intelligence in language processing has opened up new possibilities for orature preservation. AI-powered tools can assist in transcribing, translating, and indexing oral narratives, making them more accessible to a wider audience and facilitating cross-cultural exchanges. However, it's important to acknowledge that technology alone cannot fully preserve or revitalize orature. It must be coupled with sustained effort and commitment from communities, scholars, and policymakers to ensure that oral traditions continue to thrive. Balancing the need for technological innovation with respect for the cultural integrity of orature remains a delicate challenge. While technology offers powerful tools for documentation, accessibility, and dissemination, it's crucial to ensure that it does not compromise the authenticity or cultural context of these traditions. This requires ongoing dialogue and collaboration between indigenous communities, technologists, and policymakers to develop culturally sensitive and appropriate applications of technology in orature preservation. In essence, the preservation of orature in the digital age involves a dynamic interplay between tradition and technology. By embracing technological advancements while remaining mindful of their limitations and potential pitfalls, we can ensure that the rich tapestry of human culture woven through orature continues to be appreciated, understood, and celebrated by present and future generations. And now let us turn our attention to the fascinating field of artificial intelligence and its potential to breathe new life into lost voices. AI has emerged as a powerful tool in the realm of language revival, offering innovative solutions to some of the age-old challenges associated with recovering and preserving ancient scripts and endangered languages. One notable application of AI in this domain is in the area of language generation and translation. Natural language processing, a subset of AI, enables computers to understand, interpret, and generate human language. This capability has been harnessed to develop AI-powered tools that can generate text in extinct or endangered languages based on input prompts or existing textual data. These tools can assist linguists in reconstructing lost languages by analyzing patterns, generating synthetic texts, and exploring potential linguistic structures. Moreover, AI-driven machine translation can facilitate the cross-lingual understanding of ancient texts, enabling researchers to access valuable insights that were previously inaccessible due to language barriers. Furthermore, AI is proving to be invaluable in the process of deciphering ancient scripts. By feeding AI algorithms with vast amounts of data, including fragmented inscriptions, AI systems can learn to recognize patterns, identify recurring motifs, and suggest plausible interpretations. This not only accelerates the deciphering process, but also helps researchers overcome the limitations of traditional comparative methods, opening up new avenues for discovery. Finally, AI is playing a pivotal role in the preservation and revitalization of endangered languages. By analyzing vast amounts of linguistic data, AI can identify language patterns, generate new vocabulary, and develop personalized language learning tools tailored to the needs of individual learners. This not only helps in documenting these languages, but also empowers individuals to learn and use them effectively in everyday communication, thereby contributing to their continued vitality. In conclusion, the world of linguistics and language revival is on the cusp of a revolution driven by the transformative power of AI. From deciphering ancient scripts to reviving endangered languages, AI is proving to be an invaluable asset, assisting researchers, linguists, and communities in their efforts to preserve and revitalize linguistic diversity. As AI technology continues to advance, we can expect even more innovative applications that will bridge the gaps in our understanding of lost voices from the past and protect the linguistic heritage of our world for generations to come. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.